Hey there. Before we get into today's episode, I've got something exciting to share with you. On Thursday, January the 9th, I'm hosting a free interactive co-working session to help you kick off Q1 with clarity and confidence. In 1 hour, we'll work together to pick the right goal for the season of your life, identify the resources you already have to make progress, and build a plan that actually works. No more spinning your wheels. This is the same process that helped me leave my part-time job and grow my business, and I can't wait to share it with you. So don't wait. Head to the show notes now and click the link to grab your seat. Let's make 2025 the year you finally take action on the goals that matter most to you. I'll see you there. So you conquered your fear and started a side business while working. That is amazing. Now, I know that you found a wealth of information to help you get started, but you probably have not been able to find as much to help you build and grow that side gig while still working a day job without burning out. What most of us don't know when we start this journey is that it's hard to grow a side gig successfully if you don't have a handle on how you use your time. Because basically we only get 24 hours every day. So we really need to focus more on self-management than time management. And when you work at home, the lines between family time and work are blurred, which makes it even harder. Now, one very effective strategy for productively working on your side gig is to work in mini sprints that I call the mom cracks of time. Now, if you just can't seem to find a larger chunk of time, you can arrange your schedule so that you can consistently work on your side gig in 15-minute increments throughout the week consistently and in other smaller pockets that may open up throughout the day. So if you're intentional and focused with how you use your time, you can accomplish a ton in a short amount of time. So exactly how can you do that? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today in episode 33. So let's dive in. Welcome back to the More Than Capable Mompreneur podcast. I'm Shannon Baker, a coffee-loving mompreneur that started as a virtual assistant and turned into a total systems geek. And I want to help you shift your mindset and embrace your worthiness while creating systems in your business so you can be more productive and build success on your own terms without the mom guilt. Are you loving that? Well, I hope you're ready for real conversations that will help you beat the perfectionist inside, rediscover your strengths, and up-level your self-love in the mom cracks of time so you can stop letting fear hold you back because you are enough and you do enough. We are more than capable mompreneurs. So grab your cup of coffee, some sparkling water, or pour a glass of your favorite wine and let's dive in. I know, building a business is hard, and it's even harder when you're trying to do it while working another job and you still have to take care of your family. So one thing you have to accept is that you're going to be busy and that's not going to change, but you have to carve out time for your side gig or it's going to end up taking a backseat and it's never going to grow to support your lifestyle the way that you want. So while I work at home part-time, my work schedule can fluctuate between 25 to 35 hours a week. And when I started my business, I was actually working 40 to 50 hours a week outside of my home. So trust me when I say that you can do this and it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Because being a mom, working hard to maintain a happy marriage, that's a job in itself. And on top of that, you're also working a day job. So sometimes this can be exhausting. I mean, I have weeks when I feel like I'm running from the time that I get up until the time that I go to bed. And I am. But the key is I'm completing tasks that support not only my personal goals, but my business goals. How do I do this? Because I have systems in place in my daily life and in my business, which help me use my time more intentionally and efficiently so that I can get things done. So I'm going to share a few tips with you today that have helped me to juggle everything that's on my plate, be productive every week, and not burn out while doing it. So here's tip number 1. It's easy for things to slip through the cracks when you have a lot going on. So you've got to decide what your priorities are. You need to get organized. If you're clear on your priorities, you won't waste time on people or things that distract you from what's actually important. So your priorities are also needed because you need to plan your schedule. It's an absolute necessity. Now, if you're new to the podcast, let me tell you, I'm a big fan of time blocking your schedule. And if you're not familiar with that concept, it's basically assigning a limit to the number of tasks that you work on and determining how long it's going to take to complete it in advance. So if you assign the right amount of time to complete a task and hopefully you batch tasks together, you can gain more time and the task remains simple. So if you want more information on how you can start time blocking your schedule, be sure to go back and listen to episode 4 because I share a simple process that will help you with that. Now, you need to stop thinking of your limited schedule as an excuse, but think of it as something that helps you to be more productive and get more done. So take a look at your schedule and identify smaller pockets of time when you can work on tasks for your business. Maybe it's in the morning before the family starts to wake up. Maybe it's while they're napping if you have smaller ones, or when your spouse gets home from work, can you carve out a few minutes of time? Basically, you have to carve out time wherever you can find it. That leads to tip number 2 as well. You need to know your best time of the day. Have you ever heard of the golden hours? It's basically when you figure out the time of day when your mental capacity is at its peak and you complete your most important work during that time, especially creative tasks. Now, personally, I work best in the morning, so I block out time at the beginning of my day for anything that's required for like podcast topics, creating social media content, anything where my brain has to generate creative ideas. Now, while I may have to adjust my schedule based on the season that my life is in, I like to get up early, complete my morning routine, which I'm going to talk more about later, and then spend 15 minutes or so on a creative task before I start my workday. Then at the end of the day, when I'm all tapped out mentally, that's when I sort my inbox, respond to email messages or messages on social media that came in throughout the day. But arranging my schedule this way allows me to get the necessary tasks done when I'm at my best. They help my business grow, and it doesn't take as much time. And here's tip number 3. Use those wait times. Now, while mobile ordering has reduced the waste time for many things in our lives, like getting our coffee from Starbucks and even getting our food from the restaurants that we eat at, there are still other places that we end up standing in line or waiting in a line, like at the grocery store, or waiting in the line if you're picking up your groceries while they're bringing them out to your vehicle. Use that time to catch up on quick tasks like respond to a few messages, comment on a few social media posts with meaningful comments, of course, send a quick hello message to a new contact, listen to a podcast episode or read a blog post or some of a book that's going to help you refine your skills. That way, if you're more intentional with how you use your time, you will notice that you have more idle time every day than you think, especially on days when you have an appointment, say to get your hair done, or you're waiting at a doctor's appointment, you have to drop off or pick up your pet from the vet. All those small pockets of time add up. And in the end, it's going to free up a few hours every week for you to work on your side gig. So take a few minutes and create a running list on your phone of the various tasks that you can complete in 15 minutes or less. And when you have those small pockets of wait time, refer to your list and work on a few of those tasks. Now, tip number 4, you need to get comfortable with the word no. No is a complete sentence. If you say yes to something that's outside of your boundaries, and I hope you have some, it means that you're saying no to something that those boundaries are supposed to protect. So that means, again, 1, you've got to set boundaries with yourself. You need to set them with your family, and definitely you need to set them for your business. So here are 3 that you can put in place for your business, and they can be implemented very easily. You need to establish set office hours, even though this is a side gig. If you were working outside of your home, there will be specific office hours. Set those for yourself. Then you need to designate specific times you're going to respond to messages and emails, and specific pockets of time that you're going to be on social media every day. Because if you don't put a limit on it, you will go down the rabbit hole and you lose valuable time. And tip number 3, in this area, you need to designate specific days and times that you're going to make business calls, and you need to use an online scheduler. These 3 boundaries are going to help you to be more focused on very specific tasks, which means that you're more productive and you're less distracted. And one of the most important things that you need to set boundaries with in your family, you need to communicate clearly with them, even if you're working at home. Make it clear that you have a work schedule. And you may not follow it to the T, but it gives everyone a point of reference. And again, communicate that maybe you can't take care of something that they're requesting right now, but maybe you'll be available in 15 to 30 minutes or so to give them your attention. And you definitely have to set boundaries for yourself by creating a routine. So if you're a morning person like me, wake up before everyone else does. Or if you're a night owl, stay up a little later and get some things done without interruptions. Just make sure that you block that out in your schedule and then set a timer until you get used to working in those smaller chunks of time so that you stick to your schedule. Besides, having a morning and an evening routine is actually a form of self-care that helps keep you from burning out. Then be sure to check out episode 5 because I go into more details about some things that you can do to carve out more time for yourself, which is very important right now because if you're working at home like me, you are with your family now more than ever and you need some me time. Remember, self-care is not selfish. And tip number 5, you definitely need to find a support community online. You cannot thrive if you do not have a group of like-minded women that you can talk to about your struggles being a working mom trying to build a business. Your business ideas, you need support to deal with those struggles on both fronts. Now, there are a ton of online communities on Facebook for just about any industry or type of business that exists. So find one where you can connect with like-minded people and be intentional about how much time you spend in them, but make sure you spend enough to form connections with people that you can bounce ideas off of and get inspiration from. Remember, behind every successful woman is a tribe of women who choose collaboration over competition. And that's exactly how I view the ladies inside of my Facebook community, the More Than Capable Mompreneur group. We're a small but mighty group of busy fempreneurs. They give me great feedback. They help me generate new topics and ideas for podcast episodes. We troubleshoot things with each other. We support each other. We celebrate each other's wins. We encourage each other in so many different areas. We all crave a supportive community because we don't necessarily have a mate that has an entrepreneurial mind that we can bounce ideas off of. I mean, at least I know I don't. So I brainstorm with the women in that group and bounce ideas off of them, which then helps me to get clarity. And with their support, I feel empowered and excited as my business grows, and it helps me to become a better podcaster. This is also a form of self-care. So this community or these types of communities should be a safe space for you to vent so that you can pour into them. And that's what I use my group for. I pour into the ladies in that group and I share my latest episodes with them as well. So if you'd like to join us, there's going to be a link to that in the show notes. Now, I know that working a day job and building a side gig may feel challenging sometimes. And that's why you need to remember that you're working towards a bigger goal. Never forget your why. Whether it's to grow your business to replace your income, or if it's just to build up your savings or pay for the big family vacation, never forget what it is. With these simple tips, you can have it all. A successful side gig, a fulfilling day job that provides for your family, and most importantly, a happy family life. So let's review those tips again before I wrap up this episode. Tip number 1, get organized by picking a limited number of priorities every week and create a schedule to help you stay focused. Little blocks of time add up quickly. So block time on your calendar, write down exactly what you should be doing, and be realistic with yourself. You don't want to set yourself up to fail by putting too many things on your plate. Tip number 2, know your best time of day so that you can focus and knock out those important tasks more efficiently because you're working at your peak time. Tip 3, use your wait times to complete quick tasks that will move your business forward. So don't forget to create that list of tasks that you can complete in 15 minutes or less while you wait. Tip number 4, get comfortable with the word no because you need to protect your time and spend it working towards your goals. And tip 5, find a support community online that you can bounce ideas off of, learn from, and get inspired by as you continue on this journey. So I'd like to thank you for joining me for this week's episode. And again, you can find the links to the episodes that I mentioned and to my Facebook community in the show notes. And if you enjoyed listening to this episode, or one of the tips really resonated with you, please let me know. Take a screenshot, post it in Instagram stories, and tag me at the More Than Capable Mompreneur, or feel free to send me a DM. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget, you are more than enough. So until next time, keep calm and streamline.